Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to the channel for another episode in the series. As you are well aware, we have done 15 stable tours. We've got more to come. We have got Jockey Series 2, but I'm actually delighted this time because I'm joined by Paul Nicholls, two new assistant trainers. We've got George Edgedale and Charlie St. Quinton. How are you both?
All good, thanks. How are you? Thanks
Yeah,
for having
good,
us
good.
on. Yeah, no, thanks for having us on. All good.
I've never had two on at the same time. So if we talk over each other, I'm sorry, but I'm sure
Yeah,
we'll get through it, no problem at all. But
no worries, no worries.
I really appreciate you both joining me. Of course, well, it's pretty interesting for you both. Obviously, joining one of the top yards, and I suppose what I'll do, I'll start with you, George, effectively, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries.
And just because George, you came with a background of point to pointing initially, didn't you? You were a rider, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. No, I rode a little bit as an amateur, but that was more for my own enjoyment, really.
Okay.
Uh, I grew up in hunting and pony club, and probably when I was about 16, went to go ride out for Oliver Sherwood in the summer holidays, and then just loved it. And my mum thought it was a good idea to make me cycle home because she thought that might put me off going to work and racing. But it probably
It
made it
did
a bit
work.
cleaner. And I was meant to go to university, but on my year off, I was working as pupil assistant to Harry Whittington and decided not to bother going to university and carry on working for Harry. Then worked for him for 3 years, worked for Alan King for 2 years before maybe last June went over to Australia. I wanted to go and work abroad when
Oh
I was still
wow,
young and work for a racing yard out there for
wow.
Annabelle Neasham and Rob Archibald, who have only been training probably for 4 years, but
Mm,
well, they had been only training for 4 years and had already got up to 450 horses.
Jesus,
And they
yeah.
were she came from England and they were lovely people. So that was great fun, but didn't want to go live out there full time, so did my 6 months and came back here and was lucky enough to being given an opportunity by Paul. So they're very excited to be here and can't wait for the season to get in full swing.
Was that as an assistant trainer for Harry, or were you riding out for most of the yard
I
rather
I
than?
ended up as assistant to him. I was there for pupil assistant for 2 years,
Mm.
and then was assistant the last year I was there.
And then how did it come around that you and Paul got some sort of relationship to make the role happen? Did you approach him, or did he
I
approach
I
you? Or
approached him.
mm.
Um, I heard that Charlie Davis, who used to be here, was leaving,
Yeah.
and didn't realise what he was doing, and then he was going forward to do. So I approached him and came down and saw him probably in February,
Have
and
you? Sorry.
yeah, yeah, and he very kindly offered me a job. So I thought, can't not take it.
Is this something that you've always wanted to do rather than go into full-time professional riding as such?
Yeah, no, I've always wanted to go, and I've always wanted to. My dream when I was younger, growing up, was to be a trainer. So that's always what got to follow your dreams, I suppose, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Well, what Paul did say about yourself, there's a quote. He said George has a big understanding of horses from his experience, and he's clearly a very motivating individual who will probably do this as a sole person one day. Would that be the long-term goal as
That
well?
that would be the dream. If
Yeah,
I Yeah, that would be the dream. But obviously, you've got to find yourself in a situation that you'll be able to go and break through. 'Cause I think if you're gonna start training one day, you want to know you can give it a proper swing of the bat.
yeah,
You don't want to be
sure.
doing it half-heartedly. So if you knew you could get the backing and were able to give it a good go, then that would be my dream. So we'll try and
Yeah.
make it happen.
It's some opportunity to end up at sort of Paul Nicholls. There's such an abundance of quality horses from sort of start to finish. Before you got the role with Paul, had you been applying at other yards as well for an assistant
No,
role?
when I was still in Australia, I first contacted him, and I hadn't really worked out what I was going to do when I
Hmm.
came back. And I still had a horse of my own, which I wanted to hunt, chase, and run at Cheltenham hunt chase evening. So I
Okay.
was thinking, my idea was I'll come back to England, maybe ride out for back, riding out for Harry Whittington, who's pre-training,
Yeah.
and see, if I didn't get the job with Paul, see what else I can find. But very kindly, I came down here and just met Paul, and he very kindly offered me a job. So
Yeah.
I started probably the week after Cheltenham.
Did you end up riding in the Hunter Chase that you planned to come
Yes,
back
I
for?
did. Yeah, yeah.
Who was that on, George?
A horse called Fran again.
Okay, interesting, interesting.
Yeah, in the
How did
two
you get
mile
how did you get
hunters.
on? I can't
He
remember.
ran well. He came second.
You did? Okay.
Beaten a length and a half, but yeah, no, it was good. Put on a bit of weight since then, but
Yeah, well, oh, rightly so. Yeah, when you
yeah,
haven't got to worry about it, you might as well put on the pounds, sort of thing. Yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
exactly.
No shame in that at all. No
Yeah,
shame in that at all. And Charlie, you are new to the team as well. You started back in March. You had experience working with Fergal O'Brien initially. Were you as a rider or was that as an assistant as well?
So my when I first started with him about 5 or 6 years ago, it was during COVID pandemic,
Hmm.
and I was at university at the time up in Edinburgh. All got sent home, and I've always been mad into horses and horse racing. So I just got in touch with him, and that was more as a basically a yardie and rode out a bit and things like that,
Wow.
and just absolutely loved it. And then after I finished up at Edinburgh, I got offered the position to come down and yeah, become his assistant, which I just thought was a wonderful opportunity, and I just thought I'd go for it. And here I am. Here I am now, assistant trainer with George at Paul Nicholls. I can't quite believe it some days,
Yeah.
but as you said earlier, amazing team. And yeah, if you told me this would be happening 5 years ago, I'd have told you to be quiet. I'd say.
You must take a lot of pride in that though, because it's been quite a quick rise for you, it feels like you said, from university to Fergal's to Paul's. I mean, you can't really get
Yeah.
many bigger yards now, can you?
I guess, yeah. I'm very fortunate and just very grateful for Paul for
Hmm.
sort of giving me a bit of backing, well, lots of backing and lots of support, and hopefully we are repaying him a little bit each day, and that's all we can try and do is if we can increase the yard wherever that may be, winners, prize money, whatever, by 1% every day. Hopefully, we're doing the right thing, and yeah, hopefully for this season we'll show that we can be an asset.
Do you both live in Ditchy or somewhere nearby or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
both live together.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's
It'd
good. There's
be
no.
it'd be a tough job if we weren't in ditch it. Sort of like the hours and
Yeah.
the early starts and the late coming
Yeah.
back from racing and stuff. You'd yeah, if you had to commute in every day,
Have,
yeah, slowly grind you down.
have you both found like you've just adapted to that quite well? Because you must be getting up at sort of 5 o'clock or something to even, you know.
Yeah, it's fine. It's sort of what we're used to,
So
I guess. Yeah.
we get on with it, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
And how did it come around with you, Charlie and Paul? Was it you approaching Paul, or did Paul headhunt
Um,
you?
I got Paul got in touch with me, to be fair, in
Wow,
just the new
incredible.
year, just early, like yeah, it was New Year's Day at Cheltenham, I think.
Oh, nice way to
And
start
then
the year.
just yeah, just a few yeah, but like it was odd because I was loving it at Foes. I had no real plan or desire to sort of leave there. But just like in any other sport, when Manchester City come knocking or whatever, you got to listen.
Hmm. So what attributes do you think made Paul get in touch with you then, Charlie? Because that's quite a
Oh
unique
God,
way of, putting you on the spot there. I know.
I've honestly no idea. He must have caught him on a good day. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose young and like 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 George are both very enthusiastic, hopefully hardworking, and I love the race planning side of things. And recently, I've got a little bit more into sort of trying to buy a few horses for a few
Oh,
different
good.
people, and maybe trying to going forward group a few people in to try and you got to keep up with the up and coming trainers that are spending like big money now, and I love that side of things. So yeah, the race planning, the new owners and things like that, and just trying to help in general, really.
Do you both on that note, do you both have certain owners that you're both liaise with, for example? Does it work like that, or is it just a team? The whole thing is a team.
Probably more of a team.
Yeah, there's no
Hmm.
set thing.
Yeah.
At the minute, if we get any videos or content, we'd probably just send it straight to the boss, and then he'll decide.
Okay.
Um, sort of we leave that to him. But there's a couple owners who I might speak to directly, or if we're racing and they can't come, we'd phone them up or send them videos direct if Paul's busy, or just cut out the middleman a little bit.
Yeah, sure, sure. Just a quote for you as well, Charlie, because I got an off Paul for both of you as well. It's just nice to read them out, really is. Charlie comes on board with a fresh new energy and a fresh perspective, part of a broader strategy to help us stay on top for many years to come. Again, it just must be quite nice for both of you to hear kind words about you from a man who's achieved pretty much everything you can within the sport. I mean, you must give yourself some massive credit for that. And
Oh, yeah, it's kind of him. Yeah,
Very kind of him to say so.
might not say that
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Hope he carries on thinking that.
it sounds like he doesn't give you compliments until the end of the season when you see how everything's
Well,
gone then.
Well,
proofs in the pudding.
fingers crossed we have a good season then.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
with regards to your both of your day-to-day roles, there's loads of different aspects. You could look at schooling, the gallop watching, race planning, like we said, liaising with owners. Do you both do pretty much a bit of everything?
I'd ride out every day, so I'd
Okay.
still be riding 4 lots every day, which is good. Very lucky to ride some nice horses.
Yeah.
Then you'd be more on the
Yeah, more like watching gallops, liaising with Paul and Clifford, and then entries and stuff, entries and declarations, and
Mm.
then going racing the whole time really now. So yeah, now it's getting busy.
Do you both feel like you're starting to have influence on decisions, or is it you both share a word to Paul and he comes up with the final choice, for example?
I'd say we probably
Yeah.
give our opinion. Not sure
Mm.
whether
He
he
yeah.
can, he doesn't have to listen to it, but
He
we'd
always
probably
asks.
yeah
He'd normally ask, and in the morning when we're doing the
yeah
board and stuff,
Yeah.
and he'd say, "Oh, what do you think about that going to there or that going to there?" And you just got to give your opinion. Then
yeah
he ultimately he decides.
Yeah.
But I suppose the more you discuss and the more you clap like bang heads with each other,
Yeah.
hopefully
yeah.
you get a more rounded answer.
Do you get on as a team? Is there a little bit of back and forth and clashing? Because obviously that can
I
help make a good team, can't it, effectively?
I I think we've got a very good team. And obviously, there's Clifford and Dave who have a massive
Mm.
influence. At the end of the day, they're running what's going on.
Yeah, day to day.
Clifford up at top yard, Dave down the bottom
Yeah,
yard, and they are running what goes on day to day, and they have a massive influence of what's
sure.
going on really.
And what about sort of like training regimes as well then? Is that just down to Paul? Is that just down to
Uh, I'd say again,
All through. Yeah.
yeah, well,
okay.
Dave Clifford as well. They've got a
Mm.
massive influence on what they're doing day to day,
And,
and
and and the horses you ride, George, daily, are
yeah,
they generally the same horses? Are you look riding
yeah.
similar
No,
horses
so
you
I'd
can get
ride
a
the
feel?
same horse, same 4 horses every day.
Which four
Which
do you ride, George?
Hitman,
Yeah.
who
Oh wow, okay,
ran the
interesting.
blind and old ran the other day,
He
which is
did, yeah.
exciting. Joya Allen,
Okay, nice. Yeah.
who's declared to run a Newbury on Thursday, the 2 mile novice hurdle. Pitt Dory,
Yeah, lovely. What a nice ride
who
he is.
yes, I'm very lucky, and then also Kruger Park.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay. And do you feel, George, as you're riding them day in, day out, you can feel them getting stronger and things like that? Is that where your input comes quite important,
You
or
could definitely you could definitely tell them when they're getting fitter, and I think
yeah,
that's quite I guess probably quite handy having one off riding out in the wake. Then you can tell where they are fitness wise, and when we're working back or when we're you can keep an eye on what's going on the string and see who's getting on with which horses and that kind of
yeah,
thing.
sure, sure. So if the horses have away days, for example, as well, do you go out there, George, and ride
No,
them?
I haven't. No, no. That was, so when Pitt Glory went for an away day the other day, Harry Copton rode them,
Yeah, okay.
which obviously makes sense. You'd far rather have Harry Copton riding one up the back of the hill
Yeah,
than me.
sure.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. And with regards to sort of looking after individual horses, so Charlie, you just oversee most horses on your side then? Is that the
Yeah,
general?
like I wouldn't have a set few that I look after. No,
Yeah,
I don't like have 5 or 6 I muck out every morning. But yeah, generally trying to oversee and help. We're both based at the top yard, so try
Yeah.
and sort of help Clifford and report back to him anything or any feedback we get from
mm.
riders. Just so we're sort of all on the same team, all working in one direction. Hopefully.
Is it unfair to ask you both if you've got a favorite horse in the yard without disrespecting any of the
Uh,
others?
well, George's is pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. For the hitman.
Hitman for you, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
For the dude.
Don't know. Uh, honestly, they're all so nice. I think if I had to own one, it'd probably be No Drama this end.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's actually my favorite. We had Paul on a couple of weeks ago to go through some of the runners, and he is the horse that definitely sort of stands out for me
Yeah.
coming forward this season.
Yeah.
Those Paul Barber colours as well. I've been watching racing for many years too, so I was around when Denman was
Yeah, of
racing
course.
things. So
Yeah.
to see like a nice horse come through in those silks is definitely promising. I actually think that run in the bumper was a lot better than what most would give him
Yeah.
potentially credit for as well, because I know Paul doesn't do too much with his bumper horses on the basis that he like to leave plenty of improvement for them to come over the novice hurdle campaigns. Is he a horse you both believe could reach the shallow hurdle level, for
I'd
example?
say that's got to be well. I'd see how I think he's going to run in a novice hurdle at Cheltenham next game, isn't he?
Next week, next Friday, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic!
So
He's coming to Cheltenham, of
you
course.
you'd think, and fingers crossed, it'd be the obvious if he goes and runs well. That'd be the obvious place to go. The Chalet. I hope he'd be good enough to be,
Yeah,
you know,
That'd be the obvious route if he's good enough.
But
which we think he is.
But at home at the moment, you've done everything right. You think you should be.
Would he rank? Absolutely, definitely. Would he rank as the potential number one hope for that sphere at the moment? Then obviously, plenty of nice horses coming through.
I'd say so. We've got a couple of nice novice hurdlers coming out tomorrow at Chepstow.
Okay.
Got Gillespie. He's a lovely horse. You'd like to think he'd go well tomorrow.
Garcon's a nice horse.
Graham Garson, but he's
Joy Allen.
Yeah, Joy Allen.
Yeah, I like Joy Allen.
He's a lovely horse. Yeah. You've got to keep him right.
Is that basically been the case with him? He's just been hard to keep sound for a full season at the moment. But
I think he fractured his pelvis probably September last year, so he obviously hadn't run since. Came second in the bumper behind Bill Joyce.
Yes.
In spring 2024.
Yeah. Okay. And Bill Joyce has gone on to do plenty as well. So you'd hope Joy Allen could come good. On a similar note, Tishan, obviously a 6-year-old. We haven't seen him since the 2024 Cheltenham bumper. How has he been at the moment? Because he's another that just seems full of potential, and it's just unfortunate that we haven't seen him for a year. But Paul did mention that it was only a small sort of niggling injury rather than anything too serious. So could it be a blessing in disguise for him, going novice hurdling this season?
Yeah, I suppose fingers crossed we can keep him right, and a bit more time will hopefully help him and brought him on.
Yeah.
But again, fingers crossed he's one we've got to try and keep sound, and that's probably the key to him. We're trying to keep him sound.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to touch on a few others as well, if that's okay. Quebecois, I think, is one that's been quite interesting and perhaps not really spoken about so much, but he showed plenty. I mean, he's in the 140s, I think, already with an official rating quite high.
141, is he?
So I'm sure he's in the 140s. So,
140.
Yeah, well, there we go. I mean, he looks like a horse that's probably, you're probably only really scratching the surface with at the moment.
Yeah, lovely horse. He's got he's in Exeter, but ground might come up a bit quick for him, so he might go to Kempton on Monday, hopefully with a bit of give, 3 miles. He's got some lovely form lines with one of Ollie Murphy's, the grey horse that went and won up for Perth the other day, Kingston Pride. And that went and dotted up. And we think the world of him, to be honest. He's a lovely horse, and we think a fence will bring out even more improvement for him. And 3 miles bit of give, I think he'll be very hard to beat on Monday, and hopefully he'll be one for the spring festivals when they turn up.
Fantastic. Regent Stroll I find interesting as well by walking the park. He ran a huge race at Aintree because he looked, to be honest, quite babyish last season. Is that fair to say? But with maturity, it gives him.
He was far too keen early on at the beginning of last season, and where he got turned over in odds on shot, something with that extra. I was hurt in the novice hurdle, and then I guess he just came right at the end of the season when they'd settled him a bit, and he had run a blinder behind that with honesty policy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think you'll see a big bit of improvement going novice chasing. I think hopefully I think he's seen at home he's doing everything much more correctly now. He's much more settled at home than they say he was last year. And you'd hope a fence would probably settle him a little bit more as well.
How far away is he off from a run, do you think, as well?
He did it on Friday, he was entered in at Newbury on Thursday. But I think the ground's come up a bit quick and he looks fit, ready to go. I think he'll be imminently.
He looks like one that probably literally just needs good to soft ground. He doesn't maybe want too soft and too fast.
We wouldn't risk him on good for club. I'm not sure if you've seen him in the flesh, Joe, but he's a big horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'd hit the ground pretty hard as well. So you wouldn't risk him on anything too quick, no.
Yeah, excellent. No, I haven't seen him yet, but I'm a bit easy to be a fan of these walk in the parks for sure. But also that form line he has with honesty policy, he went on to run Jasmine DeVoe to half a length at Punchestown. That's the top tier for me, the 3 mile form at the moment. So he has to be spoken about, I suppose, in that vein too. Caliph de Burley, the 5-year-old, Master Marvel out of a Polyglot dam, who obviously Paul had Politolog from. I really like Caliph de Burley. Again, I feel like he's probably getting not enough credit at the moment, but I suppose that's because there's potential still to come with him this year, and hopefully he could turn into a champion chase contender come March.
I think that's the plan, and Paul's very open and honest with the way he believes the horse, like how good he could be. Again, he was one that we were hopefully going to run the Halden Gold Cup, but that will come up too quick. So I think we're going to have to go straight for the Schlur chase at Cheltenham, which could be a Khalif versus John Bond.
Yeah.
And obviously all the others. But hopefully, if he takes that in his stride, we'll go for the champion chase. We think he's a lovely horse. Olive rides him pretty much every day and gets on really well with him. And he's got a slight swagger and dare I say arrogance about him, where he knows he's quite good as well. And that's you want them in your yard. So hopefully he'll be a big flag bearer for us. Obviously, with Caldwell Potter out for the season, we need these guys to step up now.
Has he got stronger this year as well? Sort of Caliph. He's
I have no idea.
Obviously, we weren't here last year, but
of course you weren't. Sorry.
From what you hear, like Paul's very open about the fact that he said he's the apple of his eye, and he thinks he looks stronger. Looks a lot stronger from summer off, and he's ready to go. And he's very open about what he thinks about him. So.
Considering he's trained sort of like a Zertiop and masterminded and things like that, for him to say, we think he can come right up to the top, it's massively exciting. For him there. Taking on John Bon in the Schlur, does that obviously I'm sure it does. Does that really sort of get like the juices flowing and really get excited?
I say it's got to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you're not like getting excited about that with George and I, we're probably in the wrong job. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's amazing even to be slightly involved in the whatever the preparations, the race planning, the whatever with these big horses. They're what everyone dreams of having, and we're lucky to be a part of them.
Are you two finding that you're going to start having to do like more media? And obviously you've been kind enough to give me your time for my podcast, and have you been doing a lot more of that, or is that all to come this season, you think?
I think we'll be ready for it when we have to do somewhere.
I suppose it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
If the more we get, is maybe because the R's doing better.
Yeah.
Or maybe worse. I don't know.
Pic de Ree on that note. 10-year-old, obviously, first attempt at 3 miles and only just got beat by a length by Jello. Although I'm sure you were delighted with that run, it didn't seem to go perfect for him. I feel like on another day he could have beat Jello. Is that fair to assume?
I'd say he was fairly up for it, wasn't he? He was probably a little bit too keen, probably down the back the last with a circuit to go. He picked the bridle right up, and he then made a mistake 4 out, which you could say slightly would have cost him because it allowed Jello to get to us. But at the same time, Jello is only a 7-year-old. Also made a mistake at the last.
Okay,
Jello did, and you could argue that it could be a different result if he hadn't done quite so much in front. But at the same time, he's a 10-year-old, and if he's fresh and ready to go like that, that's how you want him, I guess. You want him keen and up for it. So you've got to be delighted. Frustrating he didn't win because that's what you want. You're doing it for winners. You want winners, but you've got to be delighted with the way he ran. And fingers crossed he carries on like that.
He stayed 3 miles as well, which is a good thing.
Yeah, he galloped all the way to the line.
First attempt, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
First attempt. I suppose. I'm speculating here. Could he be a King George horse, flat track, Kempton?
I just said that.
Yeah. That could be whether he's good enough to go and win a King George, probably, maybe not, because you've got these younger horses coming up through now. But you could have a shot at that, or whether I'd say he'll probably end up, his Gold Cup will end up probably being the Ascot Chase again in February. So that's probably where he loves it. That's where the plan will be. I don't know whether, that Christie in 3 weeks' time might come up a little bit too soon for him.
Okay.
He did run on Saturday.
That's why I was thinking. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, carry on. Yeah.
But like Charlie just said, then you said sort of he loves Ascot. That's why I feel like Kempton might be ideal for him as well.
Similar.
Yeah. And
King George, you probably wouldn't get an easy lead, and it's one of those where you don't probably get a breather. Whereas in his races, he's probably, when he bowls along at the front at Ascot, he probably does get the odd breather. And whereas King George is so cutthroat, isn't it?
Yeah, and you'll be fighting the front without your left front, say.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you'll be miles ahead of him. It's fine.
Well, there is that one.
I'm a real romantic when it comes to it.
Rubo, lovely horse. Honest as they get. From what I can see on the TV screen, if you like, beat Burdett Road at Kempton the other day. That's some pretty strong form, and he can jump hurdles, he can go over fences, and he must be a delight to have in the yard as well as a nice top.
absolutely lovely. You wish you had sort of 100 Rubos. We worked him and scored him this morning. He was absolutely brilliant. And Emily, who rides him every morning, was delighted. So he's hopefully going to go to the elite hurdle on Saturday.
Okay.
And you'd like to think he'd be very competitive. I wouldn't say it's probably the strongest of renewals I've seen. So we've got him and Nappers Hill in there, and I'd say Rubo will almost certainly go there. And would like to think he'd be very competitive.
Yeah, he's done the same route the last 2 years. It'll be the third year running. He could have, fingers crossed, he can do both that race at Kempton and win the elite win Canton.
Do you both feel quite well versed in the schedule now? Like you said, when you're looking at sort of like race planning and just thinking ahead, like Charlie, is that more your bag rather than your?
A little bit. I mean, we both talking about it and studying it a lot, but yeah, it's nice to become more familiar with these sort of the pattern and graded races. Obviously, that's a good problem to have, but
yeah,
learning about them and also the Irish ones and yeah, obviously, like watching racing your whole life, you do kind of get a bit of a gist with some of the routes these horses take.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got Cheltenham next week and Il Ridotto, Paddy Power back to back.
Yeah.
Obviously, Freddie Ginger can't claim this year.
No. I think
you'd be very happy with where he is now. He's very fresh at home.
Yeah.
Emily, same girl who rides Il Ridotto every day, and he's full of life, taking her on every day, which is a good sign. So fingers crossed he can go there and run a big race again.
Do you think he's the only one that's going to line up for you guys this year?
We've also got a Hitman entering there, but I don't think. Yeah, I say it'll just be Il Ridotto.
Yeah. What about Hitman then, George? Your favourite? Where's he potentially going to
be? We'll be here for an hour.
Yeah. So it could be potentially the Peterborough.
Okay, nice.
Beginning of December. But so Paul did mention potentially maybe the Betfair this morning.
Okay, interesting.
But that's I suppose food for thought, or the Peterborough in the beginning of December, back over 2.5.
Okay, perfect. Just a couple more, gents, if you don't mind. You've got a lovely filly called Goldcast, a 3-year-old. Is there much you can tell me about her at the moment, or is it too soon?
She's a filly's juvenile at Kempton.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the plan with her. Obviously not the one on Monday, but yeah, you'll see her within the next few weeks, and she's a lovely horse.
Exciting horse having the arms. Obviously won at Auteuil.
Yeah,
by Telecaster, you got to be. She does everything right at home. You'd be fairly confident she could be quite a nice horse. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Do you find it quite exciting when all the new French recruits come in and the new pointers and stuff, sort of figuring out and looking through the form and seeing who you got? And
definitely, yeah.
At this point, they can be anything. You've got to be excited by them, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got Belliano as well. Again, a horse potentially I haven't heard many people speak about, but I think he looked pretty talented last season. And
he's got some really strong form. He's another one that we're very happy with. We're schooling him over fences tomorrow, and he's in Quinton again on Monday over 3 miles. He is a lovely horse, and he's definitely strengthened up a lot since he's been back in from the summer break. And yeah, every time you look at his form, you think, wow, he could be quite special. So we just got to keep tipping away with him.
The couple lengths behind the new Lion.
Yeah, exactly.
Last year. Yeah. I think he had problems at the end of last season, but he's ready. He done everything right at home, and exciting to see him over a fence, hopefully.
See, there it goes again. You know all the form lines. You've got it all sort of ingrained already.
Takes a while. We've got a lot of horses as well.
What have you two found it really busy? Obviously over the summer, because I suppose that was your like adapting period into the yard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you've still had runners as well, haven't you, over the summer and done plenty.
We didn't have many, but we only had a small handful. To be fair, did very well with the small handful we had.
If you had, is it 20 over the summer? 20 winners.
It was just shy of.
Yeah.
It was just shy. It was just shy of 20. Did we have 20?
A very good strike rate, wasn't it?
Very good strike rate.
We were doing well with like horses knocking up a sequence like Centauras.
I love Centaura.
Like just sort of horses like that, which just were not overachieving, but just very well within themselves and probably and in the right races and picking up some decent pots. So yeah, we were delighted with them.
Yeah, good. I'm a big fan of Centaura. He beat Breaking Cover from the front when Jay Tidball. I love this horse. He just
Yeah,
jumped. It was sort of
Yeah.
as soon as he went off in front, I thought, oh, this is game over. There's no way we're
yeah.
catching him,
Puts
sort
him
of
to the
thing.
sword of it.
Jay got on very well with him, to be fair.
Yeah, it's
Good
nice.
job with
It's
him. Yeah.
to see the sequence of ones as well and like the progression is
But
it's brilliant.
I
But
think he won off 108 at Hereford, I think. And he's really
Yeah,
now 135.
yeah,
yeah. Fantastic.
deservedly so
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Yeah.
Quite
there's some
impressive rise.
good other jockeys in the yard as well because I'm quite a big fan of Freddie Keeley. I've only really sort of conversed to him in the last sort of couple of months, really, but he's brilliant jockey as well. I'm just like such a bunch of like young talent. It's not just Freddie, Ginger, Jay, Harry,
No,
Yeah.
Forsyth.
we're very lucky,
Very
all very
lucky.
hardworking, and all yeah, pulling in the right direction,
Yeah.
and ultimately looking up to Harry Cobden as well, which is obviously
Yeah,
helps because
Great
he's
role
a
model to
great
have.
role model and great with his time and discussing races and whatever. But no, Freddie Keithley's been a massive asset to the team and ridden plenty of winners for us
Yeah.
this season and for other people as well. So I think it's not just you that's noticing it for sure.
good stuff.
He's only 17 and he,
Ridiculous, really.
yeah,
It's
it's ridiculous.
mad.
He's
Yeah,
a very positive rider and he's delighted to have him on the team, really.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said something nice about Harry. I think I've got him on next week as well, so I'll make sure I
Yeah.
say you were
yeah.
nice to him anyway.
You can quote me that, all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. The last one I want to ask you about, and this is a bit of a personal thing. I'm a big fan of the Dr. Dino progeny. You've got a horse called Doctor On Call who got beat last week, but he looks really raw, but plenty of speed. Again, he's just one I feel like I can see that there's so much more to come with him in time. What do you two think of him at the moment?
He's a nice horse. You're gonna like him, don't you?
I love him. Yeah, he's a
He-
trier. Yeah,
and
Yeah,
that bumper he won at Hereford, the horse was second. That was one of Dan
Skelton's
Skelton's. Then
golden, wasn't it?
yeah, and then that went and won a bumper after
Mm,
at Chepstow, was it? And quite
bolted
impressively.
it.
So
Yeah.
so he'd come on a lot for that run at Fontwell, I'd
yeah,
say, wouldn't you? And
yeah. His jumping will be a lot slicker next time. I think he was beat by quite a good horse that day at Fontwell, and Dylan Johnson, who got off him that day, said, "Yeah, the future's very bright with this one." And you'd like to think he'd jump a fence in time, even though he's not the biggest.
Okay, lovely. Right, gents. Final thing, I always like to ask if that's okay for a horse to follow. I wouldn't mind one from you each if that's okay.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to be the one that you think's the best horse in the yard, but just a horse that we could follow, have a bit of fun with. Might pick up 2 or 3 wins perhaps in the season. Putting you on the spot, I know,
two
because
or
I give
three
you no
wins.
pre-warning.
Rack up a sequence.
Yeah. Or even one that you say this one will come good after Christmas, or
yeah,
this one's
Yeah,
firing out. Whatever, really. It just I
I'll
like.
give you two.
yeah, we'll
Yeah. Oh,
give
I
it
please.
think I think Courageous Strike is a well handicapped horse, and
Okay.
I'll keep saying it till he wins.
Yeah.
Even though he was disappointing
Yeah.
on last day. And I think a nice novice hurdler to look out for would be Hydration Station.
Okay, I'm not aware of hydration station. Is this a new horse or have I
A
just
new
yeah.
Irish pointer by Idaho, and
Oh, okay.
won his point to point over in Ireland. And he's come over and he has had a wind up, but he's working very nicely, and we've just gone nice and steady with him. He's a big horse, and he's quite quirky when he arrived, and but he's schooling well, and he's taking it all within his stride. So Hydration Station and Courageous Strike.
Oh, lovely. Thanks
Uh,
very much. One or two, George?
yeah, I'll probably might end up with two, I think.
Yeah, oh, lovely. Please.
Well, I'm a big fan. Yeah, Hitman and Hitman. No, Tutti Quanti.
Yeah, oh, lovely.
He was very disappointing in the Welsh Champion hurdle, but um, you know, you'd think going novice chasing, which I think the plan is for him to do now,
Okay.
and improve for a fence. I think he'll come on a lot fitness wise for that run at Chepstow. And when he won with Freddie Gingell on at Fostnest last year, there wasn't much of a race that Gingell couldn't pull him up, and he just caught my eye then, to be honest. And I think going novice chasing with him, he could be a lovely horse. 2.5 mile novice chasing. Another one of the nice juvenile, another French import, Pourquoi Papas.
Yeah. Finished second to Parchment. Is that
Yeah,
that race? Yeah.
and finished like an absolute train
Yeah.
after last. So hopefully he's quite an exciting prospect by Manatee. So hopefully fingers crossed he can be a nice horse.
He seems like one that could turn out just to be the best from that race because of the way he finished. And you think,
Yeah,
geez,
he finished like an absolute train.
Good race,
Yeah,
the form
Yeah.
back working well the whole time, isn't it?
fingers crossed we can say that now, and hopefully we'll be saying that in a month or so when he's had a run. But
absolutely.
yeah,
Do you guys have like a favorite sire or anything like that, or favorite dams and stuff? Or are you not massive into pedigrees? You just like the physicality of the horse and
would you have a favourite sire?
I'd have sides I like, and I'd definitely have sides I don't like.
Okay.
I
Okay.
try and treat them as a bit of an individual. You can't train a page, can you? So,
because funny enough, I would be quite against. I know Port Quap, Papas side Manatee hadn't really produced
Done
much.
Okay.
So you probably, when you see that, you probably think, oh God, be slightly against it. But then,
sure.
They always have a good one, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So,
and I think if you look at like Willie Mullins' Cheltenham Festival winners every year, and you look through the sides and dams, like half of them you wouldn't even heard of.
Yeah.
Mind you, then at the same time, you'd have a hell of a lot of good walk in the parks.
Yeah, you would.
Of course. Yeah.
But a lot of them, you wouldn't necessarily think of as a Dr. Dino or a
sure. He Walk in the Park did the double last year, the Gold Cup and Grand National, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Knit Rocket. And I think Resplendent Grey won the Bet365 at Sandown as well. I think he did Walk in the Park. So,
his list of good walk in the park just goes on and on.
Yeah. I mean, I know he covers hundreds and hundreds of mares, but you can't ignore the top list of the quality that's just sort of getting longer.
Like Men.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Duvan. The list goes on.
And then you've got the Dr. Dinos have generally produced like speed horses. This is why I'm interested in Doctor on Call, because they sort of had State Man, Charger, Dino Blue, like real fast horses. So I wondered if, he was a 2 miler, but you're both sort of saying, well, he might go out and trip a little bit. So it's just interesting to find the dynamic really. Cool. Right, gents, thank you very much for your time. I'm gonna leave you there because I can go off on a bit of a tangent and just start talking about absolutely everything. So, but I'd like to just say thanks so much for your time, and obviously I really wish you both the best of luck with your journeys at Paul Nicholls. And perhaps if you wouldn't mind, I'll get you on again near Cheltenham and have a little bit of a rest. I really appreciate your time. I know my viewers will love this, and I really wanted to be the first that sort of grabbed you both. So I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, George. Thanks, Charlie. And thanks everyone that's tuned in. If you can click like and subscribe, that just helps get the channel out there to a wider audience. And I'll be back real soon with some more episodes. Bye for now.